And we are live on Facebook, just so everyone knows. We on live now.
You don't want us to make no ugly.
All right, now. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Like to call to order.
Hang on a second, Commissioner. Steve?
Yes.
Steve's having a problem. He says he can't hear.
Steve? You may want to call his phone. Call in. He stepped away. I can't use my phone.
Steve is on. Steve is on.
Echo, I think.
Hold on a second.
I was going to tell him to... You're there, Steve? Steve.
Steve just getting back from Guatemala or somewhere, ain't he? Where did he go?
He's there, but he can't hear.
So, Steve, do you have the audio portion on? Obviously, you have your video, but do you have the audio portion?
Is it on that?
Speak, Steve.
Oh,
I hear him a little bit, but
I can hear him. He's not talking. His hand is on his chin. He's not talking.
so, Jimmy, if you could text him and tell him that he can utilize his phone, and the phone will give him the audio, and he can speak into the camera.
Okay.
But that echo I hear that's someone that has their phone on, and they need to mute the phone. That's that feedback you hear.
Okay, someone has their phone that's not muted. Please check and see.
In fact, Jimmy, I'm looking at it. It is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people who are on the line, but they have not muted their phone. They're beginning to mute now, but they need to mute their phone.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Now the host can mute him too.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
You entered 931324534 This meeting ID does not exist. Please re-enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Oh my.
Enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound to continue. You are in the meeting now. There are more than 20 participants in the meeting. This meeting is being recorded.
Hey, Steve. Steve.
Yes,
Hammond.
yes, hold on just a second. Hold on.
You may not believe it, but you are actually on. You just muted your live video feed. So you were on before you called.
Right, but I couldn't hear.
Okay, but we could hear you.
Okay. So I got it now. I got it on my phone, and I've muted me here so I can use my phone for the other. So I'm good to go right now.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad I didn't say anything foul.
Jesus love you, and I'm sure we all appreciate that.
You did.
It says you. You have no proof.
Outside of figuring out what's going on with Joe Knight, Jimmy, we should be ready to go in just a moment. And Joe, unmute your video.
What do you want? I just unmuted.
Well, your video was gone too.
Well, I was picking my
All right.
nose.
Okay. All right, everyone, we're here ready to go. I'd like to call to order the committee meeting of the Jefferson County Commission via Zoom on April the 23rd, 2020. Like to begin this meeting as we do all with a word of prayer. Commissioner Knight, would you lead us in a word of prayer, please?
Sure. Our dear Lord in heaven, we thank you for this day and all our many wonderful blessings. Lord, we come to you today with a heavy heart. We pray for our world, our nation, our state, and our county and cities as we deal with this coronavirus issue.
Yes, Lord.
We ask for your guidance as we have been and will be making decisions that will have an effect on people's lives. Give us the strength to make the right decision. And as we go forth, we ask for your blessings in these and all other things we do. And this we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Our pre-commission work session, are there any questions from any commissioner concerning the items that was put forth by the county manager or the commissioners on the pre-commission agenda?
Yes, sir. I only had. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, Commissioner Scales, you go ahead first.
Yes, sir. And I think I should have gotten, well, at least I got the answer, but I just wanted it to be for the record. Is item number 2 that is under Budget Management Office. And I understand this to be a reimbursement item. And just because it is on the agenda, everyone knows what I'm referring to, but it's individual staff development, but that's Budget Management Office. And my understanding that is a reimbursement back of personal funds that were used to pay for this item. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I was going to address too. It was a reimbursement and it was not for a P3 conference, and it should not be economic development. It should be for the bid for the World Police and Fire Games. That trip was canceled a week before we went into stay at home. So those were personal funds that were spent.
Okay, so it is a reimbursement of the funds that were spent by you. Am I correct?
Correct. And I'll have I have a credit with Delta that when I have travel again, I'll make note of that and make a report on funds that are spent for those purposes.
Okay.
To show that it's been accounted for.
Okay, so Mr. President, then I'm sure we'll just correct it for the record, just so that it is not only reading properly, but that it's duly noted in our records properly. Wouldn't that be the way to go, Mr. Attorney that's on the call?
I'd imagine the recording is already going to be accurately done in finance. We've had some issues with putting the agenda together given our situation, but it'll reflect properly.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And we can move forward, Mr. President, as far as I'm concerned, if no one else has anything that they had to have a question regarding.
Put that in the form of a motion.
Yes, sir. I'd like to move the items on our pre-commission agenda, all items that are before us.
We have a motion by Commissioner Scales. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Commissioner Ammons. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Everyone, that's 100%. So now we go to the agenda. Commissioners, we have before us these items that were just presented from pre-commission agenda, but before that, is there any other business that should take place concerning the April 9th meeting? There being none, that meeting is now adjourned. I'd like to call to order the Jefferson County Commission meeting of April the 23rd at 9:12 in the Bessemer Courthouse as statutory requirements. Call to order and roll call. Ms. DiLiberto, are you there? I will call the roll. Commissioner Tyson.
Good
There's
morning.
Ms. DiLiberto. There you are. Unmute your phone, Millie. Okay, we can't hear Millie. We can go ahead and do it. Commissioner Tyson.
Good morning.
Good morning. Commissioner Ammons.
Here.
Mr. Scales and Commissioner Knight.
Good morning.
There.
Good morning. All commissioners are here and accounted for. Commissioners, we have committee items, resolutions 1 through 32 that were just vetted. Is there any other? Good morning. Is there any more discussion concerning these 32 items?
No, sir. I'd like to move the items as printed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay, none opposed. I believe we have an item of new business. New business for unanimous consent and consideration. Commissioners, did you get a copy of from Mr. Patelis? And I will go ahead and read it. And then we'll consider that as new business. Whereas the Jefferson County Emergency Operations Center has been activated as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, whereas a multi-agency unified command structure has been established, and whereas the Jefferson County Commission employees are tasked with duties in the operational structure and disaster and go beyond the scope of their normal duties, whereas Tricia Wilkins and Deputy Director of General Services has assumed duties of the Deputy Liaison Chief of Logistics, which will require significant time investment and 24/7 on calls. I think we've had this.
We did that in committee. That went
We
through.
did do that. Yeah, Commissioner, let's see.
Yeah, that
Okay,
Only
we-
one item was related to Salvation Army.
That's
And
right, and he
it was-
gave me the wrong resolution. This is the resolution, the COVID-19 pandemic has a considerable impact on the healthcare, whereas flexibility and creativity are important in responding to this issue, and whereas the county and the Jefferson County Department of Health have reached an agreement in principle to allow the Department of Health to use the facility as a COVID-19 related home, and then if the need arises, and therefore there be it resolved, the Jefferson County Commission, that the Commission President is authorized to sign an agreement with the Jefferson County Department of Health allowing the use of the former Salvation Army building that is related to a respite home in such a time and agreement is finalized in satisfaction of both parties. This is something that would allow that county facility to be used to help the homeless in times of need.
I move for unanimous consent to consider.
Second.
Second.
A motion and a second. Ms. DiLiberto, we can't hear you. Commissioner Tyson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ammons?
Yes.
Commissioner Scales?
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
Aye.
All right, unanimous consent is now had. Chair will entertain the resolution.
Move the item.
Second.
Second.
Move second. All right, everyone's for it. Good job.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yes, Ms. Tyson, Commissioner Tyson. Yes.
Yes.
Scales,
Yes.
Hammonds,
Yes.
Knight.
Aye.
Unanimous consent. Thank you. Item has passed. Mr. Tellis, do you have anything?
I just want to report on what we've been doing with as far as the courthouse being closed to the
Okay.
public. Our employees have done a great job. We've got a skeleton crew.
I hate to interrupt, but on my agenda, I have another new business item for a backup claim.
We actually put that on that was a new business item that was actually in committee commission. That is a correction
Yeah.
of a claim where we got the names crossed, but that was actually put on as new business.
Yeah, that was on the agenda.
It was on there.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
That's okay. Better than saved and sorry.
All right. Anyway, I wanted to report our employees have done a great job with the skeleton crew coming in and rotating in and out. We have folks working. Roads Department is working. EST, they're all working. But I just want to I sent this out to you last night. Just some key elements like the Finance Department has processed over 3,200 invoices. The Revenue Department has processed over 32,000 automobile tags while we've been closed. Roads and Transportation, they're paving roads, they're cutting the grass, they're doing a lot of work out there. They removed 2,900 tons of tornado debris over the last couple of weeks, which they're still working on that. Development Services, we've issued 181 electrical inspections, 364 building inspections, 175 plumbing inspections. Board of Equalization continued their hearings via phone, and they did over 1,000 hearings over the phone, and that went well. They finished those up. And they've also reviewed 80,000 parcels in Jefferson County. And the Board of Registrars completed the March 3rd primary and completed all pending annexations for the city. And I just want to say that I'm very proud of our employees. Everybody has pitched in, and even though the courthouse is closed to the public, a lot of work is getting done. And the Revenue Department also is the sales tax and the other taxes that we collect. They're still distributing those to the cities and schools that need. They're making those distributions to the cities and schools. So I just wanted to report on that and thank y'all for all your support for us in the county. And we're working hard to get equipment in, so whenever we do open, we'll have enough protection for our employees when we do open the doors. Thank you.
Thank you. Theo, do you have anything?
No, things are moving well. We have our, with our courts, even though the federal court's been closed, we've done our submissions as it relates to our consent decree, and we're still moving right along with that process.
Okay, could you hear him? It was soft when
No,
he
we
said
can
that.
barely hear him, but Theo, if you can restate it, please. And I think that's because your video is off, your voice is off, and then it looks like you're speaking through your phone.
We can do this.
I mentioned commissions.
So mute your cell phone, and then you'll be able to get it.
Social distance.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention, Commissioners, that we're still moving forward with our consent decree compliance issues. We have done our initial submissions with our HR director, and we're continuing to move forward with that process, even though we did not have court as previously scheduled, but we're still moving forward with that process and getting our consent decree moving forward.
All right, Commissioner Tyson, would you like to say anything? Just go across the top.
Yes. With the sensors, we have gotten all of the computers out. We have the capabilities now at the feeding sites of actually introducing some of the citizens that don't have Wi-Fi. They can actually have access to cell phones at the feeding sites and the iPads where they can go ahead on and fill out their sensors. That's been going very well. We have them out at 10 different sites, and 12 other sites actually had their own computers, so they are participating also. We are now feeding about 22,000 people out of Jefferson County, the whole county. Majority of the census work is actually being done in Commissioner Scales and Commissioner Knight's district, because that's where the county was assigned for the hard to count. So we are having a stand up and be counted Zoom event on May 1st. That is put together by a group of young people that's actually graduating from high school and college. It starts at 6:30. We're asking everyone to join. You will get the link today from Mike and Emily, and we're asking for everyone to join. We'll have a couple of celebrities actually will come in and ask everyone to make sure that they fill out their census, make sure they stay at least 6 feet apart, and make sure they be careful, wash their hands. They will do that whole spiel. And we are still feeding the children and the seniors and families in Jefferson County, the whole county, not District 2, the whole county. We are feeding them. We will have a big giveaway on this Saturday, which will start at 11 o'clock. We will deliver to several sites, and we will also deliver the Saturday before Mother's Day, where we will be giving out groceries and diapers and newborn kits to mothers. And it's a great program. I'm so excited that they included Jefferson County. I'm glad to be a part of it. I haven't seen this much food given out in a long time. I know we have several agencies that actually give food out in Jefferson County, but actually to see it happen within the heart of Jefferson County in the cutoff, I'm very excited about it. And I would like for y'all to come out. I know we don't need to be out among each other, but if we can go one at a time at the different sites. We're in Fultondale. We are covering the county school systems. We're in county public housing. We served in Bessemer. We are in Fairfield, Brighton. Lipscomb actually come over to Brighton. So we are actually covering the whole county. We are actually in President, we're in Clay Chalkville, Walker County, Selma. So we're doing a lot, and I just can't say thank you enough for assisting me and Mr. Jackson helping get this started in the churches, the pastors. If y'all are listening, I promise you, I appreciate you, because you have came in over 255 churches and registered, and they are participating, and we are ready to work. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate everything you do, Commissioner. Thank you so very much.
And to JCCEO, I forgot them out. Left them out.
There we go.
They're helping with it.
Commissioner Scales.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to say very briefly, I did have one question before I start my report, because I was really excited about the online renewals and different things like that. And I saw where you had noted, County Manager Patelis, that we have been able to service 33,200 online renewals and different types of transactions. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I was excited about that because your note said that there was an increase of 91% over our previous year, which means that the public is really taking advantage of the opportunity to assess what we're doing online. And then I saw where we had our mail renewals is by 28%. That's up. And so I was excited about that in the 1400. So I think that people are really taking advantage of what we have to offer at the county. And so as the pro tem, I would definitely encourage the public as much as possible that if you're looking for different types of permits, marriage licensing, even ALEA, which is our Alabama licensing organization, people are going online, and that's what we're encouraging you to do. So go to jccal.org. I'm very excited about new testing sites that will be coming forth in the county. And I can't say enough of thank you for the cooperation of what the county has had with the Jefferson County Department of Health, which is a state agency. It is not an agency that we control or govern, but I'm very excited about that. So that's basically it I have for now. I can just tell you that we're all out here trying to service our districts, and everybody's doing a great job, and I'm very proud of the work that everyone is doing. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Commissioner Ammons.
Yes, sir. Kind of echo a little bit of what Commissioner Scales said. Really appreciate, Mr. Patelis, the numbers that you gave us and showing how the county is still working. And I know moving forward, we probably need to continue to look at how we can expand that opportunity. God forbid this ever happens again, but how can we offer services to our constituents in a way where they don't have to come to the courthouse and they can do things remotely? And I know a lot of that has to deal with the state and what they do. Very, very proud of the work that EMA and the Department of Health are doing, and their forethought on creating the unified command. They're doing a great job, a single source for everything that somebody would need. So good job there. To go along with Commissioner Tyson, if anybody has a need for help with food, if you don't have the opportunity to call her, call 211 from your cell phone, and you'll get to somebody that can help you with that. Also, want to I emailed it out to everybody. Congratulations for Innovation Depot has a new CEO finally. His name is Drew Honeycutt. He has been in the depot and currently has a company that he works with at the depot called Funnelfly, but he's done a number of things. Funnelfly currently supports startups and how they helps them scale, and he was the one chosen to help lead it. He'll do a fantastic job. And on the opposite end, a great loss for the city of Birmingham and their school system with Dr. Lisa Herring. She was doing a very good job in a very difficult job that she had, and she will be greatly missed, and Atlanta is getting a great champion for education. And kind of the last thing is, as the governor tries to make her decisions and about reopening our economy, I know she'll make a good one because she's had a number of task force and a number of good folks around her, and she'll use the data to do and make the decisions necessary. I, as a single commissioner, and I think probably the majority of you would agree, that I would encourage her to make the decision sooner than later, not to push it, but to make a decision and to have a date in the future, so our businesses have an opportunity to ramp up and prepare themselves with employees and PPE and the measures necessary, so they can be in compliance and help maintain the no more spread of COVID. If they are only given a last minute option, they may not be ready, and they may just pull the trigger because they want to get out and start getting revenue in, which I can't blame them for. But the sooner she can set a date in the future, they can prepare, and I know that's something I've heard a lot from the businesses I've talked to. And Mr. President, I think that's the end of my comments.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Commissioner Knight, you dropped off the screen. Are you still there? Commissioner Knight. I believe we lost Commissioner Knight.
No, you
there
have
he is.
found Commissioner Knight. He just hit the
You
wrong
found-
button. Oh, and I did it again.
You're there, Joe. Just don't touch anything and talk.
You know, this high-tech stuff for me. Let's see if I can do this. Well, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Fine.
Okay, good. All right. Well, as you know, Governor Ivey has extended her stay at home until April 30th. Now, there's a lot of businesses out there that's clamoring to reopen. We don't know what the state is going to do yet, but our numbers are declining. The hospitals have not been overrun. They still have a lot of capacity. In fact, I think they're starting to transition so that they can start, doing some elective cases again for all those people that need surgery that's been put off. We'll see that. The guidelines say, I think by the president, if you've got 14 days of declining numbers of cases, then that's the good indication to move toward reopening. Jefferson County now has 7 or 8 days that we've declined in the number of new cases. So we're encouraged by this, but we can't stop doing what we're doing. And people have done a good job for the most part in doing the social distancing, wearing a mask. But we have to remember that coronavirus is not going to go away on April the 30th. It's going to be here for a while. They're now talking about the possibility of a resurgence in the fall, along with the flu, which could complicate matters even worse. But we can't stay shuttered forever. But when we do go out, I would encourage everybody, if you go to the grocery store, and I know there's been a lot of people at Walmart and some of the big box stores, if you go in there, just wear a mask. Wear a mask for now. And I think that protects, it doesn't protect you, but if that person is infected and don't know it, then whatever comes out of their mouth doesn't reach others. So that's kind of the reason for the mask. I do look forward to getting more testing, and perhaps we can do that in the future, but there's been a shortage of reagents, and that's the items that, you need to do these tests. So, but overall, Jefferson County has done well. And I think Dr. Wilson's early interventions in his guidelines really got us on the forefront of stopping the spread. But that's all we've done is stop the spread. It hasn't gone away, so we have to continue to be vigilant. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
President, can I
Yes, ma'am.
make one more announcement?
Commissioner Todd.
We received some free $25 Lyft codes for the frontline workers. We gave Cahaba Healthcare half, and we gave Cooper Green Healthcare half. So they can actually, take Lyft anywhere up to $25, and that would actually give them transportation back and forth home, the ones that don't want to drive. So we turned that in, so they will receive that through an agency that we work with. So that's for the frontline workers, and we're going to try to give EMA, we're going to give them some also today. So they would have transportation.
Great.
Mr.
Thank you,
President,
Commissioner.
and I was going to say, Mr. President,
Yes, ma'am.
let me also say this, is I certainly don't want to contradict anything that anyone has said, but I do want to say this as it relates to testing. I want us to be very cautious as we proceed to move forward, because there are groups of demographics that have low-lying existing conditions. And because of that, which I'll be very frank, in the African-American community, those numbers are still high. They're very high. And I want to make sure that the public knows that, because the testing as it exists today says that you have to exhibit certain types of conditions or symptoms in order for you to be tested. So I want us to still keep that in mind, that as we move forward, that in my interactions with the public, I must admit, I have been seeing some citizens that are not necessarily keeping their hands covered and making sure that they're wearing the mask. We don't want people, out of frustration and anxiety, to start not wearing what you need to protect yourself and also the people around you. So I just wanted to say that that's something that hopefully we will continue to work with the Jefferson County Health Department with, is to make sure that folk who may be or symptomatic, they don't show symptoms outwardly, that this test is made available to anyone, because I think that that is the unknown factor that we're dealing with right now, and I think we'll be dealing with that for months to come. So I just wanted to make sure in this setting that we're still telling people that the numbers right now may not be necessarily the numbers that accurately accounts for everyone. So if you can make sure you go to the county's website, the county social media sites, make sure that you find a testing location if you do believe that you have those symptoms. But I would also like to say, Mr. President, we need to move in that direction, because I know you are a part of the Jefferson County Department of Health Board, that we insist that the numbers of folk who have not been tested because they do not exhibit symptoms, that we then begin to move in that vein, so that everyone that may possibly have this virus, that they are counted, they are tested. And I don't know, I know that UAB is working on right now a clinical trial testing, but whatever we can do, we need to do that.
And President, if we can actually, in the areas where the Black and brown people actually live, like Bessemer Civic Center actually have a testing site, Harbor Healthcare on Tuscaloosa in the on the western side of town, in Woodlawn, they have a testing site. Right down the street from Cooper Green, they have a testing site. But in those areas, I think when we're going out for the census, if we can get some posters, we can put those up also with that. Do the same, you know, we are already out there putting the posters up. So why not just add that to it, not to that census poster, but a separate poster with a number where they can call and get an appointment in case they do have symptoms, where they can actually be tested. Because with the allergy season, really, you don't know whether you got COVID, because someone sneezed out. I twist my ankle trying to get out the way because I'm just so afraid, because you don't know whether they're sneezing for allergies or whether they're sneezing for the COVID-19. So I think we need to be aware of it. I think we need to, make people aware that it's still here, because if we open back up, people are gonna automatically think, oh, it's safe to do whatever they want to do and not wear masks, and it's not. It's not. And where I live at it will be hit the hardest, and that's the southwest side of town. So I want to make sure that we notify people.
That's right.
You know, to make sure that they understand that this ain't over. And hand sanitizer is not the cure. The cure is to stay in and wash your hands with water and soap. You know, and I really think people need to get that in their head. Hand sanitizer at home, you need water and you need some soap to wash your hand at home. Hand sanitizer if you're away from water and soap. You know, and we need to make sure about the homeless community. Make sure they still have the fountain out downtown. They need to put them somewhere else. We can use some of the stimulus monies for that, to make sure they know where they can wash their hands and stuff, because they are still gathering. The weather is getting, it's cool today. You really need a jacket on today. So I am very aware, and I think we need to make sure that the public know this.
And I certainly do appreciate that. I concur with everything that was said today. I'm not really satisfied with where we are as far as educating our citizens, especially our underserved citizens. We need to work and to put a concerted effort out to make sure that they understand, and more importantly, understand the consequences of not exhibiting the social distancing. And we, as a commission and as sitting on the health department board, we need to make sure that these citizens are aware of what's going on, that they're aware of social distancing, that they have access to PPE, and they understand the importance of the hygiene of washing your hands and staying that social distance from people. The other thing is testing. We are going to have to expand testing in order to open this economy back up to a new normalcy. As we transition to a new normalcy, we have been reactive in what we've done as a state, well, as a country, as a state, and as a county. It's time now that we have capacity in our hospitals, that we become proactive to keep that from ever occurring again. Now, to do that, we have to have that education component to bring people together and to understand what's going on. I want to thank the county management and each commissioner for what you've done. Great job. We could not be as far as we are without the cooperation. And I'm looking at Democrats, Republicans, blacks, whites, Hispanics. They're all working together. We have a common foe, a foe we can't see, but yet we know it's there. And what we have to do, we have to protect ourselves. Now, we're going to have to reopen our economy. We're going to have to reopen the courthouse, okay? But we're going to have to do that wisely. We're going to have to do that to protect our vulnerable population. We understand that. We can do that through establishing the proper protocols. Now, we've been in contact, county management and the commission has been in contact with Dr. Mark Wilson. We've gone over our protocols for reopening the courthouse. And the primary concern is to protect the citizens and employees and allow you to transact your county business. Now, some of our citizens don't have access to the internet and to the way that they're being contacted now, and those underserved citizens are some of our most vulnerable population. And we have to make sure that we have established the protocols to where they can come and transact their business and yet be safe and feel safe to themselves and to the employees that they're doing business with. And I want to commend County Manager Patelis and our General Services Department for putting up the mitigation materials, the plexiglass, the different things, the barriers, the signage, and it's all of that will go a long way to restoring the confidence to where you can begin to do business. We've been in contact with Judge French. The courts will be behind in a certain amount of time because you can't strike a jury and have everyone there together. You can't practice social distancing in doing that. So let's transition and let's be proactive and let's continue to work together for the citizens of Jefferson County and for this great country. And let's don't forget to say a prayer for our common good. And we appreciate everything that you do. And we any other commissioners want to say anything before we?
I This is Commissioner Knight. I do want to give a shout out to our roads and transportation folks for all they did after last week's storm on Easter Sunday. That they were on it. They worked hard, and they're still out there working hard. But kudos to them, because during all of this, it's like Jim Coker said at EMA, said, who would have ever thought getting back to normal would be preparing for tornado activity? So that was kind of such, but shout out to them.
Mr.
Thank you
President,
very much.
I did have one ask, especially you brought up something that I've always believed in, which is proper communication to the general public. And that being said, I wanted to make sure that, especially in this setting, that those of us who have testing sites, which they're all across the county, that we take, Mr. President, I wanted to be certain that we could work along with EMA so that that information is provided by the different platforms that are available to the county. And I wanted to make sure that that we can move forward accordingly with that, because I think as much as the public needs to know the timeliness of how we do it, I think is something else that can help to fend off this virus, because I think the more information that people have, the more that they can comply, and the quicker we can get open. But we can't open not responsibly if we know that individuals are still not doing what they need to do, and continue on to make sure that they know that tests are available, and while we're moving toward the vein of those who don't show symptoms, that we're looking at it. So I just wanted to say that in this setting, Mr. President, that all of us, as much as we can, need to work with Othel and that unified command, and to try to reach our constituents the best way we know how.
Thank you very much.
Are we on one accord with that, Mr. President?
We are.
Thank you, sir. You're so kind.
Everyone, do not forget your PPE. You see, I don't have my mask on right now because I'm practicing social distancing, but I do have it in hand. Please remember, you're protecting yourself and you're protecting people that you are come in contact with. There being no further business, this meeting is recessed until further notice, and God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you.